2, 1.
Hey there, Hofstra fans, and welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com. I'm Julian Coulter, joined by the head coach of the Hofstra Baseball team, John Russo. Coach, how's it going?
Good, Julian. Thanks for having me.
Well, the weather obviously always seems to be a factor whenever you and I have a conversation, and this past week it was again, but you were able to get some games going down in North Carolina against Penn State. You split a twin bill, and you guys wound up losing the series finale, but what were your overall thoughts on how the weekend went?
No, I was super excited that we even got to play. We were supposed to have a home game on Friday, doubleheader on Sunday, and we had the support of administration to be able to travel down south because they understood that we needed to have games played, and to find a place to play, to find an opponent to play. It was a pretty crazy week, but we were able to work it out. We got down there on Friday, played Penn State, a really good team on Saturday. Able to get wins or whatnot, but I think the bigger important thing that we're just, we just need to keep playing. We need to get experience. I need to keep seeing these guys work and see who does what in games.
Now we'll talk about that series against Penn State. The first game you mentioned, or the first two, were a doubleheader in the first one. In game one, a couple of scoreless innings by your pitching staff. Nick Kozlowski was able to throw some scoreless ball, as well as Brett Schreiber. What'd you like from the staff in that first game?
I thought they really battled well. They both, I wouldn't say, had their greatest stuff. I think at the end of the game, Penn State had 10 hits, 4 walks, so 14 base runners, and we still able to throw a shutout. So you got to give Nick and Brett a lot of credit for the experience, I think, to get out of jams, to make pitches when they needed to. We were just talking a little while ago that Brett, I think he threw 10 changeups in a row to end the game. But that was what he had working, and he had confidence in it, and he did it. And Nick didn't have much off-speed stuff in the game, but yet was able to get through it, mostly throwing, about 70% fastballs. So real proud of them. Was the start we needed. We talked about starter going longer. Nick was able to get us 5 and a third in that first outing, and that got us off to a good start.
Now in the second game, David Jesh, he was able to go 7 innings, strike out 7. That ties his career high that he set his freshman year. Did he have his stuff working that day?
He did. He had everything going. Probably his breaking ball change. He had a good fastball. Probably the David Jess we've been expecting and got to see. And for him to log 7 innings was exactly what we needed. We were able to get 2 short innings from McDonald and Harkey in the 8th and 9th. And he had 7 strikeouts. He had a good breaking ball going. He was a good changeup to left-handers. He was just a really good pitcher. A guy that we expected him to be finally.
The pitching in the third game probably didn't go the way that you want. Penn State jumps out to a 7-1 lead. Eisenberg gives up a couple of runs in the first inning. Do you think it was just a matter of getting adjusted into that rotation spot, or getting starts early on in the year that went when you took on that Penn State in game 3?
Well, I think Alec, we talked this morning, he put 4 guys on to start 4 innings and was always in trouble, and had a decent breaking ball going, but didn't throw it much, and his fastball was up in the zone when it was there. And, I think, Penn State had 7 hits in the short outings. He had a hit batsman. It's just a lot of pressure. We turned 2 double plays of the 4 innings he threw, and we just need Alec to be better. We need the guys who come in after him to be better. It was easy to see what Kaz and Jesh did and think, it's going to be pretty easy on Sunday, but what they did was really hard. Penn State was a good team, a good hitting team. They're a Big Ten opponent, and I think the guys on Sunday found out it wasn't as easy to do as what David and Nick did on Saturday.
Now, as far as the pitching goes on the weekend, and the pitching this season, obviously you've had some games that you didn't get to play, you've had some games that you did get to play. You're a couple series in now. Do you think that the rotation's at a point now where you can say, I have a set number of starters, and the same thing goes for the bullpen? Do you rely on that more as a strength, or do you still got some tinkering that needs to be done?
I think it's the biggest hole on our whole team right now is what to do with the pitching staff. We're down Rico from the start of the season, so he's out at least another 4 weeks. We're probably down to Alec Eisenberg this weekend. He has strep throat, so probably won't even be traveling this weekend. So we have 4 games, and I'm not sure who will throw in game 3 or 4 right now. More or less, besides Brett and I think Brian McDonald some, and Chris Harkey a little bit. But who to count on out of the bullpen, and that's what we need to figure out. Now after 2 series, we had a couple guys have a good outing at Grand Canyon, but then a bad outing this weekend, or a bad outing at Grand Canyon and a good outing this weekend. And that's not good when they're coming in out of the bullpen with the game on the line. I got to know what I can count on, and We don't know that right now.
I moved to the offense on the weekend. Kenny Jackson, he had a 2-home run game for the first time in his career, so you obviously got to see a little bit of pop from him. But you also mentioned some names there. Brian McDonald, as far as pitching goes, has the opportunities there, but he also was pretty good with the bat this past weekend. Did you like what you saw from your lineup?
I'm starting to like the lineup, but they're doing a lot of the same problems as what the pitching is. Leadoff is a problem of the pitchers. Leadoff is a problem of the position players. We can't get guys on base to start innings, and we have 14 stolen bases in 7 games, but we're getting the leadoff guy at 20% of the time. I mean, if we can, move that to 50%, we could do more jobs with runs and more stuff. And I don't feel like we're bunting all that great. I don't feel like we're working counts at all. I don't feel like we're having competitive at bats. I think Kenny Jackson swinging the bat well. I thought Matt Ford came along really well this weekend with the bat. I think Brian's been good 2 weekends in a row now. I think we can count on Eric Ferguson, what he does. And, now we just got to get, 3 or 4 more guys that we know we can count on. So, 6 through 9 in the batting order, or 5 through 9 in the batting order isn't such an easy out or such an easy turn through the rotation for the other team's pitching. So, nice to win 2 or 3, but definitely a lot of teaching points and a lot of things to fix this week.
Now, I do have an interesting question for you in terms of the way that you're going about this as a coach. Obviously, when you have games that are scheduled at home and then you have to go around and find new contests, that sort of thing, how hard is it not only for you and your strategy, but for the players to get into a rhythm?
Very tough. I mean, as of Tuesday, we didn't even know if we were going to play, more or less where we were going to play or who we were going to play or when we were going to play. And, you're talking about leaving on, Thursdays or, Fridays, and you still got school. And, we talked on Friday night to the team about, it's not even until probably Saturday morning they start thinking about Penn State or know anybody in their lineup or anything of a competition standpoint, just with how hard this has been, how much everything is switched around. And, so what we've been talking a lot about is, handling what we do, stay within our system, trying to improve little things. And to be honest, right now we haven't fixed those little things just yet. This weekend we're going down to San Antonio. You figure it'd be good weather, right? Today it's 38. Saturday it's 60% chance of rain. Sunday 50. The weather's just played havoc a lot on our stuff. So, today with practice, tomorrow with practice, we're going to have individual goals, individual things, and try to focus on the little things that we can control.
The weather's been a factor. Last year it's a factor. This year, so it'll be interesting how it goes moving forward. You mentioned going down to San Antonio, taking on a first-year Division I program. What's the scouting report for going head-to-head this week?
Well, it'll be their second home series. They've played Oklahoma State, they played Gonzaga, they played Texas Arlington. I mean, they've played a great schedule to open up their Division I career. I think they're really starting to adjust right now. They'll be a lot more seasoned, I think, so far in the season than we will be. And, I think they'll be definitely prepared. Usually teams down south, like to run a lot. You're going to get good pitching. You'll probably get good defense. It'll be a grass infield, which is something we don't see much of right now. Even this weekend in Asheboro was a turf field, so playing on grass is a different speed for the infielders and, just a whole different situation. So I think San Antonio will definitely have a leg up on us in all of those aspects. And coached by Danny Heap, a former big leaguer, and I think they'll be really well prepared, super confident going into the weekend.
Coach, thanks
thank you
so much for the time. Remember, Hofstra fans, you can tune into the WB Mason Coaches Report each and every week here on GoHofstra.com.